How's it going, guys? It's me, Blastbunny, finally back. After medical school and COVID happened and ruined my life for a couple of months, I've been trying to upload this video for a while. I'm finally getting back into the swing of things, and I had this video ready to go for a little bit. I just finished it literally this week. I didn't have time to do anything beforehand, as I explained in my vlog video before this video came out, and I'm finally ready to release this and do YouTube again. So without further ado, we're going to talk about how Cyberpunk 2077 got screwed by CD Projekt Red and how CD Projekt Red kind of sucks. So let's do that. Roll it. So, what the hell happened to this game? After 3 delays, it would appear Cyberpunk 2077 is a bit of a mess. Now, I know a lot of people really love CD Projekt Red. I know it's been years of wholesome Keanu memes and just good stuff, right? And I know The Witcher 3 is a really good game, and we all had high hopes for a spiritual successor. But I'm gonna be real with you guys in my always snarky, blunt, self-righteous way I enjoy. I don't care if you like this company, I'm gonna say my piece. Cyberpunk 2077 was sold as a hyper-futuristic game about the dystopian excesses of transhumanism and capitalism. Its initial goal was to show the eventual dark future that science and greed could bring about, only to actually be a fantastic case study in how incredibly inept corporations are at producing anything nowadays with a shred of honesty. Prior to Cyberpunk's release, game journalists gleefully reported quotes from the lead designers that are frankly hilarious when put in modern context. Cyberpunk guest designer Patrick Mills said in an interview with Edge magazine, "One of the things about this company always has been we want to show the game industry how to do things. We want to change the game industry. We want to say we can do things differently. We don't have to do things that way. It's in our motto. We are rebels, right?" Or even better, when CD Projekt Red stated Cyberpunk was going to be the biggest game release in history. Huh? How about that one? In context, that's a super tone-deaf quote. You know, in relation to how CDPR completely messed up the launch of this game. See, the real issue isn't that the people who run CDPR are incredibly pretentious. It's that Cyberpunk, this super advanced game that was going to be more successful than the likes of The Witcher 3, doesn't actually work like CDPR said it would. If you were expecting this game to be released, completed after being delayed for so long, I have some bad news for you. Not only is this game not finished, it's extra fucked on last-gen consoles. So if you have a PS4 or an Xbox One, you are just kind of shit out of luck. Worst part about that, they straight up lied about its functionality on those 2 last-gen consoles. Prior to release, CDPR implied that the game would run on older consoles. However, when the game was released, the internet was flooded with a plethora of comments detailing awful visuals, glitches, poor optimized backgrounds, game-breaking glitches, and instances where the game just crashed the PS4 and Xbox One consoles entirely. It was so broken, the consoles they said could run the game gave the fuck up, as in the PS4 and the Xbox One decided that they'd rather be dead than try and play this game. Of course, even if those consoles could run the game, it was still unplayable since the game routinely dropped below 20 frames a second. Oh, but don't worry. A patch CD Projekt Red implemented made sure that the frames don't drop below 20 FPS. So basically 20 frames is the basement level of optimization you can expect if you have a last-gen console. So bad was this move for CDPR that Sony straight up removed the game from its storefront until it was fixed enough for sale. And when Sony is the company showing you it has respect for its consumers, you know you fucked up in a spectacular fashion. Which is weird because I was under the impression CDPR was a stand-up company that had garnered all its love from consumers by being good at business. I mean, it's not like they instituted soul-crushing working conditions that emotionally devastated their employees, only to release the game anyway when it didn't actually work, so their developers who had zero say in the game's release could be harassed by weird toxic gamer who threatened to kill them. Oh, wait. No, sorry, see, I'm forgetting history here, because that's exactly what they did. It's no lie that I am an aggressive opponent of crunch game production and concrete release dates. The practice of crunch in itself is so unfair to employees. It has data to back up it's not only unhealthy, but also psychologically detrimental to human beings. It's extra insulting that CDPR even said they wouldn't do this crunch shit multiple times in the past. On multiple occasions, CD Projekt Red said they would take steps to not subject their employees to crunch working conditions, only to completely lie about that as well and force their workers into grueling 100-hour work weeks. Quite why companies still do this is fucking beyond me, because they all know it's a shit thing to do and they just simply don't care. Most games that are crunched to release don't even release finished anyways. So what the actual hell is the point of putting off a game's release if all you're going to do is fuck up the release anyway? That don't make sense, CD Projekt Red. It shouldn't be done. Period. And despite me liking games like The Last of Us 2, I will always say Naughty Dog is a bunch of gremlin spunk because that's exactly how that game was made, and it's appalling that in this day and age we still treat workers like a resource we can use up and toss in the trash. CD Projekt Red is a corporation, and like all corporations, they ultimately suck in one fashion or another. It's not even like CDPR is this actual monolith in gaming. Everyone treats CD Projekt Red like some second coming of Jesus who changed the gaming world, when in actuality, they only have one mega successful game. And despite me liking The Witcher 3 a whole lot, I can't help but notice it's just a normal RPG. The mechanics in the game aren't even new. But hey, at least the Witcher games don't have built-in seizure-inducing cutscenes. Oh yeah, hey, let's talk about the seizures. Did you know that a multi-billion-dollar company had to patch out a section of their game that caused fucking seizures? Well, would you believe the company this video is about had to do that? In Cyberpunk, there is a section called the brain dance sequence, and this section of the game had to be retroactively changed to adjust the flashing effects. How on earth, in the year 2020, do we still have video games inducing seizures in an industry that is very aware those things need to not be in video games? Every warning label that comes with a gaming console explicitly says there is a risk of this, and gaming companies already know it's not a good idea to put flashing lights in their games. And I'm aware it was fixed, and I know there are people who aren't bothered by it, but let's just for a second realize that CD Projekt Red probably didn't comb through the game as they should have to make sure this type of situation didn't occur. Since, you know, it's awful for your image and business. Speaking of business, because of the lying and lack of polish on their AAA game, CDPR founders lost upwards of $1 billion. And its stock price tanked a hilarious 37% of its value. Almost like bad business decisions lead to a loss in profit. Go figure! Oh, but wait, that's not even the bad part. One of the most awful things about game companies isn't that they're greedy. It's not that they treat their customers like slot machines. It's not even that they don't care about artistic passion or functional game releases. No, it's that they do all this with no consequences. CD Projekt Red is now embroiled in a number of lawsuits for the dubious ways it discussed the last-gen playability of Cyberpunk 2077. As in, they lied about it not working on last-gen consoles, and due to those lies, investors were misled and lost money. And for once, a game company is actually feeling the sting of being a greedy piece of shit, but not from the consumers. there will most likely never be a reckoning from the group of people who actually matter. CD Projekt Red has of course vowed to vigorously defend itself, and they offered the same old tired platitudes about how dedicated they are to fixing the game they had released broken. And like every game company, CDPR had made its policy that they will work very hard until the game is up to the standards of its fans, because gaming corporations still think gamers believe that shit. And this will all fade away with time, because at the end of the day, people, especially gamers, for some reason don't seem to care about this type of abuse. Especially for companies like CDPR that seem to have the ability to dodge all consumer criticism. And even though the game is glitchy, and looks bad, and is actually quite boring, the company that produced it will probably avoid all liability and instead continue with the capability to continually get away with being garbage. I just hope that CD Projekt Red can one day be as good a company as their fans think they are. But then again, if you're a pessimist, such as myself, you know they probably won't be.